It's getting pretty sketchy. We could make that, but we've got a hell of a lot of road to get through, and it's pretty sketchy.
Turn around?
I'm thinking about turning around, yeah. I hate to accept defeat. You know, there's another reason to accept defeat, and that is there's nobody out here to rescue us. There were no tire tracks. That road hasn't been used for quite a while, and if we got in trouble out there somewhere, we're really on our own. We've got the GRMS radio on this whole trip, and there's nobody on it. I mean, this place it's really lonely out here. Okay, we're getting off this road that comes from Glade Park, and previously we've gone to the right down the Colorado River and had a very nice picnic, but now we're going left and the dirt begins. So it should be graded here for a while, probably some washboard. Doesn't look bad enough to be worth airing down at all. So the last time we were here, this field off to our left just was full of deer. And there were hunters all over the place, but it's private property, so they didn't shoot them. And the deer realized that they were safe. Okay, we go. Yeah, minor washboard. Yeah, pretty down through this little canyon.
Yeah, very nice.
Always love the cottonwoods. So far this trail hasn't been particularly interesting. One little canyon was pretty. But what is strange here is there's granite. And we are out quite a ways east of Moab, between Moab and Grand Junction. And we're quite used to having, you know, sandstone, like a lot of sandstone. But all of this around us is granite, and on the way out we passed a couple of quarries. So this is kind of cool and quite unusual here. Okay, now we're climbing up along the side of a hill, and we got some granite and we have some sandstone. And it's narrow, but not really a shelf road. But it is narrow and kind of steep off to the right. So places like we've been driving through, I've been concerned that there'd be a huge rock in the road and we'd get stuck. And this trail ahead, you can see it climbing up there. I mean, that's a good place where a significant boulder could land in the road, and then we just have to stop and give up on this part of the trip. There may be a reroute possible somewhere. I don't see evidence of being graded recently, so there could be little washouts to cross. Boulders, of course. Ruts don't usually bother this van. So this road is part of the Delores triangle, they call it, road system out here. So far below us and off to the north, to the right here, is the other side of the triangle. Okay, well, we got up to here anyway. I have a nice collection of fences. And if you aren't familiar, the fences and cattle guards, well, this cattle guard isn't going to be very effective. Washed out on the right side. That's for keeping cattle. This is all open range out here. There's the LaSalle Mountains in the distance. Spooky turn, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Fun. Oh, there's a big drop. So we're going to be dropping down and then all through that rock over there. Okay, so this is scenic finally. This is getting interesting for us. It was a little boring at the start of the trip, but Katya's pretty comfortable going down these steep spots now. From our Cookapelli Leg 3 trail over above Onion Creek Canyon. Okay, so this is more of the kind of road we like for overlanding. A little bit of off-roading to it, but nothing too serious. Katya likes it because she can drive slow, and that's her favorite pace in a vehicle. Okay, we came over this little pass, and a huge view. And again, we're hoping no boulders have rolled down during these last storms. So I'm trying to spot well ahead of us to see if I see any trouble coming. The road looks great. So the goal right now is to have lunch in this canyon far below us that has cottonwoods, and maybe we could pull over in the shade of a cottonwood, and it'd even be super if it had a little creek. Of course, then the gnats will be there for Katya.
We'll have bug wall.
Yeah, bug wall, stay inside. There is a large granite formation above us now. So that's interesting, because the granite's probably older rock than the sandstone. Well, there is a path to the left, so why don't we just go to the left?
Okay.
And somebody with a big chainsaw can deal with that thing. How we doing? It's looking good so far. Yeah, it's looking good. This rig can easily handle this. So Katya's trying to avoid a rock on the left, a little boulder, and of course scraping against the juniper. And she did it, and we're back on the road. Cool.
That tree completely confused me. I was just like, what's going on? The road is gone.
End of road, bud. No, this road goes on, and now it's going up into a, looks like a narrow canyon. So there's a real lack of places to pull off for lunch or camping along and through here. This isn't where I intended to camp anyway, although I didn't have an exact place to camp. It was going to be at a higher altitude where it's cooler. You definitely have a feeling of remoteness back here. Okay, now we're going up into like a gnarly gorge kind of canyon, it looks like.
That's really cool.
Yeah, good rock formations. We're at 6,000, almost 6,100 feet here.
Check out those berries.
Oh, there's berries here.
Red berries of some sort.
Yeah, gooseberry maybe.
And they're all over here.
A lot of berries.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, here on the left there's little bushes. On the right there's bushes with berries. Okay, 1 o'clock, and we've been looking for a place to have lunch now for quite a while. We got some ruts here, by the way. No big deal. But we see a fence like a corral up here, and yeah, just straddle it like you're doing. It's great. So we're pretty sure, you know, corral is going to be a big place to pull off the trail and have lunch anyway. 85 degrees. We're hoping for little more elevation would be cooler, but it's not. But we'll probably have late afternoon thunderstorms. Oops, we missed the road here a bit. We've got to go back. This one looks like it, you know, it might eventually find a way to get back on where we want to be. But we want to go back because, as you can see, there's a creek here. And we'd like to get down to that creek to camp tonight and see what it's like. Looks like it's down a deep canyon. But notice that, you know, this all looks pretty easy. But then we drop into this canyon here. And that's another opportunity for the road to be blocked with falling rocks. So sort of this main road here goes off and it crosses the Delores River down here. And then that goes over to Dewey Bridge and so forth, and connects with Utah's Route 128. So there's a lot of opportunities out here. There's this road over here and this over here. It goes over to the Colorado River, kind of near Cisco. But we decided to take this one and explore it down to Gateway. And we'd like to have lunch in Gateway tomorrow, because there's a really nice resort there. So let's go back up to where we are. And we've stopped and we're going to have lunch.
For lunch, we have potato salad with prosciutto, fresh basil, little ciabatta with olive oil, and so very simple. No cooking was necessary.
So I'm scouting this out to see what we got. I mean, so far there's nothing that scares us. But if we have to turn around, it's certainly easier where we are now than down here. And I hear a motorcycle way out there. It's like nobody's been around. And it's approaching from somewhere. Okay, just chatted with these dirt bike guys, and they said the road I wanted to take down into this canyon is very washed out. They couldn't even do it on their dirt bikes. So anyway, they gave me an idea for how to get to Gateway from here. So that sounds like the way to go. Okay, we're dropping through some gnar here. It's not bad. Well, that's a nice rock. And off to our left is a canyon full of cottonwoods. But oh, look how steep that road is that we were going to take.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's way down there. No wonder it's washed out. Darn, that would have been nice to be down in that canyon though, huh?
You can do it on a mountain bike.
Yeah, mountain bike, right? But we're going to encounter that same canyon and creek much farther down here. So we'll continue on this. This is considered the main road. This is Ryan Creek Road. Wherever Ryan Creek is. The motorcyclist tracks here. So we saw a couple of dirt bikers at the beginning of this trip. I don't know if those were the same guys actually.
No, different.
They were different? Okay. And then a couple now, and then that's it. We haven't seen any Jeeps, side-by-sides, certainly no vans. So yeah, this is just out of Grand Junction, and it's the boonies. You get over closer to Moab, this road would be a lot more popular.
Oh, this is a colored lizard. They're so beautiful.
Oh, he's really beautiful, and he's proud. Cool thing about colored lizards is they really aren't afraid of us. He's just sitting there waiting for, like, what the heck are we doing? Dome Plateau is probably like straight ahead of us. Out there quite a ways. And that was featured in our Kokopelli Lake 2 video, where I did probably the wildest driving of my life, at least that I remember. Oh no, I remember a time in the Sierras with my four-wheel drive Chevy pickup, driving down a steep creek through brush in the Sierras, and it wasn't a road. I thought it was going to be a road, but the road ended and I just kept going until I got to the bottom of some valley, and I think it's called Gold Valley actually, and there was a bunch of Jeepers there. They'd heard me crashing around through the brush in a full-size pickup, coming down this steep descent in this creek. So they thought I was pretty nuts. As I get older, I know I was nuts. A bit too early to camp, but we've been passing up a bunch of really nice spots to camp with huge views. We've just decided we want cottonwoods to the creek if possible. It's been remote, very, very, very remote place. Okay, here's this intersection, and we're gonna go left. Ah, yeah, I love those big cliffs. Too thick, that whole ridge is too thick to have an arch. But there's a lot of caves anyway, you know, not very big ones, shallow caves. So to the right here we've got some interesting terrain. This is where we start dropping down towards this creek. And it's always kind of nice to see familiar looking rocks. And then looking over towards La Salle's, and it's raining over there. Kind of fun rock formations along here, especially off there in the distance. Yeah, underneath that pillowy looking stuff is much more gnarled around, twisted than it usually is. That's a bit unusual. We have what looks like Navajo sandstone here. And we have an amazing view out there. And there's some cottonwoods down there. So that's looking promising. And hopefully there's room for us. This is a Saturday night, so you never know, you know, who's going to be out here. But so far we've seen so few people and no other campers that maybe we've got it all to ourselves. Watch this rock. Yeah. So a little narrow through here. Nothing that impacts the van so far. Starting to look for dispersed camping sites. And we're getting a little shower from a passing thunderstorm. Okay, we're getting pretty close to the creek crossing. 'Cause there's that road right there. Let's see if I see anything on that side. I'll keep going. I'll miss this rock cat. Go left. That might be a spot for us down there. Okay, let me spot that. Okay, we're looking for a spot here to camp for the night. So this isn't actually a roaring creek. There is a little, very little water in this creek. Oh, this is ideal. How's that, folks? First, let's see what we got over here. Oh, there's our little stream. Nice, it's beautiful here. But see, this gives us I'm going to park it over in here. Maybe we'll move this wood. So I don't see any turtles, but then again, this isn't particularly turtle country. But it is a running little stream. Not one that we want to take a bath in. Yeah, when you pull into a campsite, you know, this is the usual thing you're confronted with. Unless, you know, there's a solo stove in your life. And then you can actually do cooking and you can heat everything and you can burn less wood and it's so much more efficient.
I just started the fire in the solo. I want to wait 40 minutes and see how the whole coals develop. I also set up a table and I brought everything that I'm gonna need for cooking. We're cooking a rack of lamb today and we're cooking grilled salsa. It's a recipe of Francis Mallmann, who is a famous Argentinian barbecue king. And this is the first time I will be grilling herbs and chopping them into salsa. What I also did unique today, it's an experiment, is I cut my wood into smaller chunks. The bigger regular wood that we buy in the store to go camping would fit into the solo stove. But what I want to accomplish is when the coals are ready, I want those pieces with coals and wood ready to be moved to one side, because I want one side to have high temperature and the other side to have lower temperature. Can I accomplish it? I don't know, but I think I'm gonna try. And so I'm gonna be making some basting liquid that I'm gonna be basting herbs in, and also the rack of lamb in, and I'm gonna making some bundles, so we'll record it as we go along.
Sounds good, Katya. I'm excited. This is cool. And I mean, we've got this idyllic spot next to a stream and, you know, nice spot for the van. It's like, this is an amazing place.
I have 2 herbal bundles that I will be grilling and charring a little bit. Basil, mint, and rosemary, and green onion leeks, parsley, thyme, oregano, and some lemon zest, and some garlic cloves inside. So we're gonna drench those in basting liquid that I created. It has lemon, wine, and olive oil. And then we're gonna put it on the solo stove when it's ready.
Wow, I'm ready.
So what we're making, we're gonna be making a grilled salsa that will go with rack of lamb.
Whoa, this is heavy. This is heavy. And we're out here like, you know, in the middle of nowhere with a little creek over there and this wonderful cottonwood right above us and the van providing some shade in the afternoon. This is like one of the most amazing places I've ever been. So there is one other campsite down there and nobody's there. And this is a Saturday night in June. So yeah, this is just amazing.
So my experiment of having the very hot coals and hot burning log on one side and low burning coals on the other side to accomplish indirect and high heat worked. It looks like it's medium rare on the inside.
Sure is.
Cooked it for 25 minutes on what we had, so if anybody wants to cook it longer, you're welcome to.
Wow, tender, so nice. You know, if I'd quit doing this photography shit, then I could actually have some of that food, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ah. It's like, wow, look at this. I mean, I've never had lamb like this. This is amazing. Oh, wow. Okay, so we're over here now, and we're going to be going along this road, Steamboat Mesa. We did this already, so this is on X's map. It might be a little bit easier to see what's going on, but we've got to take this road down here, and all of this is really, I found no information on it at all, and then we get into this squiggly area, and we're dropping down off a mesa, and you know, who knows, this looks pretty sketchy. There could easily be a boulder in the road or a washout or something, but to get to Gateway, this is it. Otherwise we've got to turn around and backtrack quite a ways and figure out what to do next. We can't make this because this is the connection to Gateway. Okay, we're getting to the top of this little ridge, and I think there's a higher level mesa ahead of us, which is Steamboat Mesa. We're not going up on Steamboat. We're going to bail off at a road before that, but then we got quite a ways to go. Okay, we're climbing up onto a ridge. We just went over some rocky areas. Nothing technical. Or maybe for some people it'd be technical. Not noticeable for us, but it's getting a little chunky here. Okay, we got to the top of this ridge, and we're going to be making a left up here someplace, but suddenly the grading that we had back there has ended.
Wow, look at this.
And yeah, wow, we're going down in there, I hope, maybe. So it was a well-graded road, has just ended. We're not at the Grand County line yet, the state line. Whoops. We are making a left here, according to the Gaia map. Yep. Okay, I'm going to drop it into mud ruts on here. It's, you know, it's not bad, but make it easier to crawl over this, crawl up this ledge here. Not very technical, but it's steep. And let's give it a little push here. Nice job, right up it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. It's getting pretty sketchy. We could make that, but we've got a hell of a lot of road to get through, and it's pretty sketchy.
Turn around.
I'm thinking about turning around. Yeah, I hate to accept defeat. Okay, what we're looking at ahead of us it's really gnarly, really gnarly. Yes, this van could go up it, but we have got miles and miles and miles of this ahead of us, along with a switchback that's probably unmaintained that drops down into a canyon. And I was worried about that being washed out. And if this road's not being maintained, there's a very good chance that road's not being maintained because it doesn't go anywhere else except here and up that canyon a little bit farther. But it's dead ends because of a washout way up there that we had to avoid yesterday. So, I don't know, we're looking at the map. We hate to turn around, but this is an excellent spot to turn around. And there hasn't been much of that lately. But there is an alternative route that we need to explore anyway, and that is go back to that campsite, climb back up onto the ridge, and then take this this Delores loop, they call it. It'll bring us back to where we started the trip on the dirt, and it should be pretty easy. It's maintained roads more or less. But yeah, what we're looking at ahead of us is, you know, if we've got a lot more of this coming up, and those also, if those switchbacks that are over there about 3 miles away probably, if they aren't maintained, they're going to be a mess. And we have to turn around and come back all through this. I'd rather just turn around now. It'd be a lot more fun. So we don't get lunch in Gateway, and at this point, I don't think there's any way to drive this route to get to Gateway. I don't think there's any alternatives. But, you know, maybe we'll think of something someday. Yeah, that one doesn't work there. Yeah, this isn't it. So we're going to turn around. Okay, we're back on the track that we came in on. And, you know, trying to psychologically accept defeat. It's not really something we're good at. And I don't know why the grading stopped here, because this isn't the county line, it's just a fence line for cattle, but the grader stopped here. You know, there's another reason to accept defeat, and that is there's nobody out here to rescue us. There were no tire tracks. That road hasn't been used for quite a while, and if we got in trouble out there somewhere, we're really on our own. We've got the GRMS radio on this whole trip, and there's nobody on it. I mean, this place it's really lonely out here. Hey, not so bad having to turn around. Look at the view. It's quite pretty. The clouds are adding some texture out there to it. Nice to be back on the graded, maintained road. Doesn't like a little off-roading for thrills, but this certainly is easier to drive. So now we're dropping back down to where we camped. And we're going to have to crawl out of this canyon. And back into this beautiful canyon. Ryan Creek or whatever it's called.
There's a tree.
There's our camp. There's a creek crossing here. Yeah, only our tracks. Yeah, it was a little muddy. Okay, so we'll just go trucking right on through.
Dragonflies.
And yeah, just our tracks. Nobody's come through here the whole time we've been down here. That's the camp. And now climb out of this canyon. We've climbed out of Granite Creek Canyon, it turns out, not Ryan Creek, or this is Ryan Creek Road. but we camped in Granite Creek, at least according to the National Geographic map layer in Gaia. But what I've often found is different maps have different names out here, and nobody seems to care. And local cattle ranchers, they probably have their own names for everything anyway. So there is tracks ahead of us here. Somebody came down this road or up this road. No, those are just the dirt bikers. Okay, so this is looking backwards. We're coming from Granite Creek, but this is what there are for road. This is the only road signs we've seen out here. There was a BLM sign down a back road, one or two of them. That's all, really not much. And then now this. So Delores River means this is the easy river crossing way to get over towards Dewey Bridge, and Granite Creek is, well, we were just there, and you've seen all that. Okay, this road through here is beautiful. It's, you know, any vehicle can do this. Moving right along. You know, we have a few little ledges and places like this a bit, but really, they're like an inch or half an inch. Okay, so we're climbing up here. We're on the last leg, and we're only probably 15 minutes from the end of the trip, but it is beautiful through here. And I mean, if you like beautiful granite cliffs, or not granite, sandstone cliffs. But we're also having a discussion here because we're into some Precambrian rock. This darker rock that's around us now is the Precambrian layer, and Precambrian is like far back. I was over 500 million years ago or something. Getting up nice and close to the cliffs. So yeah, we're running right along this boundary between the Precambrian rock and the Jurassic. There's like 150 million years or something missing between the two. And we have the same thing over in the Colorado National Monument. Okay, we make a left here, and that's where we went off pavement right there. So we've completed a loop, and now we're heading back home a little earlier than anticipated. We're looking forward to lunch at Handlebar in Grand Junction. We're gonna have a celebrate with a glass of beer and a burger. So I do want to mention that while I haven't been shooting this trip out here from Glade Park, it is quite scenic. And you know, even though we're on pavement, it's remote out here. There's some ranches, very remote ranches, and I think this is probably part of the overlanding trip. Hey, look at that! Big caves. So again, this is driving into back to Glade Park, and it's gorgeous out here. I mean, it's quite remote. There's a few farmhouses, but really ranch houses. But pretty much nobody else comes out here, and it's a great drive. So I do want to mention, turn around here. You've seen enough great beautifulness. Now you can look at some kind of ugliness. So I want to mention there's 3 ways to get to Glade Park, and one of them is around the side of Colorado National Monument. It's called Little Park Road, and that is really pretty cool. I mean, you start out going through some houses, gets you kind of a junky part of Grand Junction for a short period of drive there, and then it starts climbing up onto a ridge, and it really gets beautiful. It's terrific, and it's sort of Colorado National Monument type terrain up there. You know, big deep canyons and beautiful sandstone structures and all that. Or you can go up through the monument, and one of them is directly out of Grand Junction, and it's probably the least scenic way, although it's very scenic. Or better yet, start on the Fruta end, and from Fruta you can drive the length of Rimrock Road, and that's a rim drive or whatever it's called, in the monument, and that's where it's a good place to see bighorn sheep. Now I should just drop a bighorn sheep right here in the video and show you what they look like. But yeah, it's a good probability. I would say 80% of the time we're in the that Fruta end of the monument, it's we see the sheep. Yeah, it's really cool, and they're right beside the road, and they're like waiting for you to show up. But don't feed them. We're not supposed to do that, but it sure is tempting. They're so cute, especially the girls. Well, the guys are cool. They have these big horns. You know, not really overlanding, but it is pretty cool to be driving through the monument here, and give you a little sneak peek of our local attraction. Let's go back over here, and you can see Grand Junction laid out there in the distance. Grand Mesa is that flat mountain over there, and that's got like 300 lakes on them. They're little reservoirs, really. Most of them are kind of mud holes. But yeah, we're dropping down through these switchbacks, and it's pretty cool. And down there is the tunnel we'll be going through. Saw that Jeep come out. So there's hiking here in the monument. On this end of the monument, it's pretty rare to see. This is the Grand Junction end. It's pretty rare to see any of the sheep. The bighorns are out the other direction quite a ways usually, but it happens. Okay. And we'll go around this switchback. So somebody got up here and paved the road. That's nice. So there's several tunnels to get to and from the main road up on top.